So far, we've talked about the importance of incentives and institutions in economics. We understand that individuals act in their own self-interest, and we know that institutions create the all-important rules of the game. But how do resources get allocated? How do businesses know what to produce? And how do consumers express their demands? The answer to this puzzle is the price system. Markets are amazingly efficient at distilling information from a vast array of sources from around the globe. Prices send important signals to both consumers and to producers. For consumers, an increase in price suggests that something has become scarcer. The consumer will cut back purchases due to the price hike and look for substitutes for the more costly good. Prices also send important messages to producers. Higher prices suggest that there may be potential profit opportunities for others to enter the market. These new competitors will either start producing the same good, more of it, or find alternative goods to produce that can compete with the good in question. This is the discovery process that defines markets, and it is this give and take in the marketplace that drives prices to their most competitive levels. One of the most powerful articles written by Friedrich Hayek, the great Nobel Prize-winning economist, is called The Use of Knowledge in Society, where he addresses the importance of prices for conveying the detailed information that different people possess about specific aspects of various markets. Hayek called this the specific knowledge of time and place. This information is critical to coordinate production and consumption activities throughout the economy. Prices unimpeded by regulatory constraints play an important coordinating function for consumers and for producers. Each individual's reaction to prices sends signals that coordinate markets across the globe. A carpenter in Kansas, for example, doesn't need to know if there was a steel shortage in China to realize that materials are scarcer than they were before. The price of nails tells him all that he needs to know. The price mechanism doesn't exist in a centrally planned economy, which makes it difficult to coordinate economic activities there. As a result, shortages or surpluses are common. Why? Because the central planners have no way to capture all the knowledge required to allocate resources efficiently. If planners set the price too low, then shortages emerge because there are too many people trying to buy and not enough people willing to sell at that fixed price. This fact explains the difficulty of finding an apartment, for example, in rent-controlled cities like New York. On the other hand, if prices are set too high, there'll be surpluses because the price encourages businesses to produce more than consumers are willing to buy at that artificially high price. Unlike in a market where knowledge dissipates quickly using the price mechanism, government institutions have information gaps that make efficient outcomes more difficult to achieve. Central planners simply do not have the necessary information to get prices right, and they never will because the information is generated from the bottom up, not from the top down. In fact, when Hayek looked at the economy, he used the phrase spontaneous order to describe the amazing degree of coordination that markets allowed in the absence of a central planner. This is similar to Adam Smith's notion of the invisible hand, where individual self-interest guides markets to generate the most efficient outcomes. Many of mankind's greatest achievements are derived not from deliberate acts of planning, but from the unintended consequences of millions of voluntary actions among individuals. These complex organizing structures are often referred to as an order that is of human action, but not of human design. From the creation of money, to the rule of law, to transactions in the marketplace, individuals left to their own devices unconsciously generate order that is far more powerful and larger than any structure that was deliberately designed or that could be designed. Why do we usually find all the products we need every time we go to the grocery store? There's no one telling farmers how much to grow, or telling producers how much to make, or telling grocers what exactly to stock on their shelves. Yet on most trips to the grocery store, nearly every trip, we find exactly what we want. The market provides a wealth of information and transmits that information very efficiently through the price mechanism. Everyone has unique information about resource use. Farmers know if it's a good growing season, and producers know whether or not their cost of production are increasing or falling. And grocers know which products are selling well. All of this information from widely disparate sources from around the world is made available in real time through the price system. In short, prices are what drive and coordinate markets. The only alternative is to allow someone else to make decisions about resource allocation. And typically this means government. Under economic systems like socialism and fascism, the government allocates resources. In fact, even in a mixed economy such as in the US, the government plays a larger and larger role in allocating resources. Through taxation and regulation, the government takes resources from individuals to be allocated by politicians and bureaucrats who lack the information to make correct decisions and who face poor incentives to allocate resources. They allocate resources based on political favoritism and not on the well-being of consumers.